Assalamualaikum dear student. Today I am going to talk about the histamine definition, location, synthesis, and the release of histamine. So first I am going to define the histamine. So the histamine is a chemical messenger. Histamine is a chemical messenger. Histamine is a chemical messenger that acts on multiple receptor to produce the response. So histamine is a chemical messenger that acts on multiple receptors within the body to produce the response. Now the location of histamine are present within all tissues of the body, but they are significantly present in lungs, skin, blood vessels, and GIT, gastrointestinal tract. And histamine is also act as a neurotransmitter in certain part of the brain, like the tuberomammillary nucleus of the posterior hypothalamus, where neurons are present which release histamine on overall part of the brain. So now the synthesis of histamine. The histamine is derived from a amino acid which is called histidine. Here you can see the structure of the histidine amino acid. This is the histidine amino acid. Here you can see, and there is an enzyme called histidine decarboxylase. This enzyme acts on the histidine amino acid and form, and this group is removed through by histidine decarboxylase, and the resultant histamine is formed. Here you can see this is the histamine. So the histamine is formed. The function of histamine. Histamine within the body act on multiple receptors, which I will discuss in another video, and produce various responses. For example, it produces allergic reaction, it produces inflammatory reactions, it secretes gastric acid, also act as a neurotransmitter in certain part of the brain, like the posterior part of the hypothalamus, in which there is a nucleus present called the tuberomammillary nucleus, from which the neurons are projected to all part of the central nervous system, which release histamine. So it produces allergic reaction, it also produces inflammatory reaction, and it causes to secrete the gastric acid from the stomach, and it also acts as a neurotransmitter in central nervous system. So this is the function of the histamine. Release of histamine. To destruction of cell by cold. When the cell is destroyed either by cold, the histamine is released. Cold trauma is released in response to destruction of cell by cold trauma. Venoms from organisms, and venoms from insects, spider, and Histamine also produce an allergic and anaphylactic reaction. Allergic and anaphylactic reaction. This was all about the histamine. So thanks for watching the video.